Go.
Hi, I'm Steve Avaro. Welcome to our letterpress shop, the Southpaw Printers. We have several presses here, and today we're going to talk about motorizing a vintage 1915 Chandler & Price 8x12 new style press. So my goal was to motorize this press, but I didn't want to have a big clunky motor and a belt and a three-phase motor and all kinds of electrical things going on. And what I do know is that this press runs quite smoothly with just the treadle. And even though it's quite old, it's in nice shape and it runs really nicely. But I did want to add some motive power to it. So I was playing with the idea of hooking up a small engine. And I tried the idea of using my drill just to see if that would work. And it does. That works well. So I was looking online to find a small motor and came across sewing machine motors. And it turns out that they're fairly small, lightweight, and compact motors. This one's actually 3/4 horsepower, certainly enough to power that press. It comes with a switch and a digital controller that will allow me to change the speed up to 4,500 RPM, as well as change direction so that the wheel goes either way. The biggest challenge was finding a 4-inch rubber wheel with a bore that could be drilled out to match the shaft on the motor, which is 15 millimeters. This was done using a lathe. So I created an apparatus that would be something like a seesaw with the motor on one end, and when I pivot, stepping on this end, it brings the motor up in contact with the flywheel. In order to do that, I built a couple of parts that we're going to install now. Now we're going to mount the motor bracket to the board. Okay. Next, we're going to mount the motor to the bracket using the screw that goes with it. Okay. The next step is to mount the switch to the stationary board. That goes down here. Will be to mount this to the runner on the press using pocket screws. I've already pre-drilled this, so I've got my position, I've got my screws, and I'm ready to go. The next step is to mount the movable arm in place. And cap it with cap screws. So the next step is to adjust the motor so that when we press on the pedal, essentially, it comes in contact with the flywheel. Attach the turnbuckle to the lever and the switch lever. So then when it comes up, it goes on. Next step is to make the connections. The switch, the motor, and then plug it in. Okay, we turn it on. We give it a quick test, and the motor is running. Next step, get the press running, get her spinning, step on the pedal, the motor runs, and so does the press. On, off, on, off. That's it. For you doubters who say that I'm spinning the flywheel in the wrong direction, I challenge anyone to prove that there is a right or wrong direction. But in case you do, the motor allows you to switch the direction of its rotation so that if you want to spin the flywheel in the opposite direction, you can. It will work the same either way. But for me, this is how I do it.